everybody, I am Alpha Bird. The dog is saying hello in the background as well. Welcome to the early access first look at the new Toulon DLC divisions. We've got two of them to look at. Today's video, we're going to be looking at the Axis Division, Toulon, and the next video, we're going to be looking at the Allied Division. And thank you to Leo Peru, channel member. He's been with me as a channel member for 3 months now, so thank you for the support. If you want to check out the channel member perks, hit that join button and see what you get access to. So without further ado, let's look at Toulon. I'm pretty much going to be calling it from Toulon from now on because that name we'll have a go. Verteidigungsbereich Toulon. God knows whether that was even close. But defensive perimeter Toulon formed the impromptu garrison of France's important Mediterranean naval base during Operation Dragoon. This ad hoc battle group featured elements from the 242 Infantry Division, Kriegsmarine troops, artillery units, and put up a fierce fight during the Allied liberation of Toulon. A wide range of different infantry, vehicles and guns can be found in this formation. This includes regular Grenadiere and various Kriegsmarine squads, including Marine-Infantry, MEK and Brandenburger Special Forces, Italian Maro Marines, and even stranded fanatical U-boat crews. That sounds pretty damn cool. Lacking in armour and air cover, Toulon compensates with very strong artillery and AA guns, fielding Yugoslavian 100mm to Soviet 152 howitzers, powerful Flak 38 105mm, and deadly Flakzwilling 37mm guns. Flakzwilling 37mm guns. Toulon is an excellent defensive battle group with many versatile units but lacks offensive armoured firepower. Wow, I mean, actually this does sound really interesting, a massive mix. I'm particularly excited to see the fanatical U-boat crews. Now, I have played with this division before when I was doing some testing for UGen, but it was a while ago, so some of it will be new to me still, and I just used an autofill deck, so I didn't really go in there and have a detailed look at the unit, so this is pretty much still a first look for me. Right, let's head into the division, see what we've got access to. So we don't get many tank slots. The points are expensive, so I'm not expecting many great tanks. We get tons of anti-air slots, tons of 1-point slots as well, and we get a decent enough infantry tab, so it's looking okay so far. Let's have a look at the recon side of things. We've got the BMW bikes, we've got the sharpshooters. There's only one man, but it's a one-man sniper team. We've got the Spar troop, we've got the Fusiliers, and we've got the MEK. So the MEK, they get 3 MP40 Hub L41 submachine guns, they get a Kar 98 sniper rifle, and they get some explosives. So these guys look like they're going to be useful. Oh, they come in the traction vehicles as well, so definitely going to be useful. Fastest transport in game, 115 kilometers per hour on-road speed. So yeah, I definitely see these going in people's decks. They get a cool little Laffy Jeep as well. That thing looks quite good. The Spar troops, they do get access to the traction. So no real like SPW 222. That's what I was kind of looking for there. Really love the Fusiliers. I know they're in different decks, but I just like that green kind of camo look that they've got access to. The MEKs, you only get 1 card of them. They are 30 points, but if I remember right from using these, they are pretty strong. So I think they're definitely going to be a pick. You can get them in A and B phase, and you get, you know, 2 1-point slots. So probably sniper teams all round. Into the infantry tab, so we start things off with the Grenadiere MG099. They come in the DMA or the Laffy transport, mostly Carabiner 98Ks, MP40s, but they do have the Breda 30 automatic rifle. So there's been a change in the game. So, and there we go, it's said in the tooltip. The LMGs have been changed in this patch for Toulon. So you've got 2 types of LMG now. So you've got LMGs that can fire on them. In fact, you've got three three types, I think. You've got LMGs that can fire on the move. You've got LMGs that can't fire on the move. And then you've got LMGs that can't fire within 100 meters. So most LMGs now can only fire between 100 meters and 750 meters. They've introduced this restriction on LMGs. Now, I can't actually tell you exactly which LMGs those cover, but there are certain LMGs, like the Bren gun, for instance, can fire within that 100, can fire basically from 0 meters range all the way up to 750. But the DP28 and the MG34, they are now restricted. You can't fire within that 0 to 100 meter range. So that is a change to the game. There'll be this should be covered in the patch notes, and I'm sure more other content creators will get better information than I can out there. But that's going to be quite a big game changing part of the patch, really. So I thought I'd highlight that. Right, going back to things, we've got the Grenadier MG099. You can take them in A, B, and C phase, 20-point infantry. I'm not quite sure how strong the Braider is, but it's got an LMG, and I think at the moment on this patch, if you've got an LMG, that's going to be one of the most important parts of a rifle or an infantry division. If you don't have an LMG, if this was just an MP40 and 7 carabiners, it would be definitely a lot worse off. Then we've got the Grenadier with the Panzerfaust, 20 points A, B, and C phase. We've got some KM Landeschützen. So I believe these are Kriegsmarine, and certainly it looks that way with the uniforms. We got 9 Carcano M91s, and we do have the FM24-29 automatic rifle. 20 points apiece. They are disheartened troops, though, and being disheartened on this patch is a lot worse than it used to be at the start of the game. The suppression just affects them much more heavily. I'm not quite sure whether we're going to see these in play unless you're specifically trying to take disheartened troops and you're going to use the military police in the support tab. We'll see them soon, I'm sure. And then we've got the KM Marine-Infantry. So this is the Kriegsmarine Marineinfanterie. They've got 2 Bergmans, 9 carabiners, an MG, and an anti-tank grenade. And you can get a decent number of these. At 20 points, I think these are going to be pretty useful to most players. You've got a hell of a lot of 20-point infantry. I mean, we're not even down the page. And what we got, 4, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13 20-point infantry slots. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can take 20-point infantry all day long. And really, a lot of the game in the patch, I think at the moment, just the cheaper the infantry just makes such a big difference. The 5-point difference in infantry is quite a big jump. So a lot of the times, if you've got 20-point infantry or even cheaper, you might as well just take it. What else have we got? We got Sekirungs. We got Ostlegionär, which I didn't quite cover. Kind of a standard Russian loadout. They are disheartened, though. I'd probably ignore the disheartened infantry. I mean, you've got enough 20-point infantry that you can actually afford to leave the disheartened infantry behind. We've got Sekirungs with the anti-tank rifle. We've got Grenführers, we've got Pioneers. There should be some changes to leaders as well. So leaders should have changed in this patch. I believe smoked leaders with smoke, became more expensive. That should have been what happened, at least to my knowledge anyway. So we got Grenführers, we got Pioneers, we got Sturm Pioneers, we got Brandenburgers. These guys have got great uniforms. I think we've seen these uniforms before, though, on other troops. They get access to the same transports, and 4 MP40s, 6 G43s, and 2 MG42s. These are going to be a strong unit because 2 MG42s really is strong right now. But you don't get many of these. I can see these being taken in B phase, really, because the numbers are quite harsh. You do get them at 2-star veterancy, though. We've got the KM Führer, the Kriegsmarine Führer. We got the Kriegsmarine Pioneers. Oh, these are a pioneer unit with the Panzerschreck. So kind of that close range infantry grenade as well as a Panzerschreck. These guys could get taken for that reason, the fact they've got a Panzerschreck, but the numbers that you can get is pretty poor. So you might... It depends what we've got in the anti-tank tab, if we've got any Panzerschrecks, whether they get taken or not. Wow, look at these guys. The Marrow. Man, these look friggin' awesome. These must be naval troops due to the uniforms. I think I actually mentioned them in the intro and then completely forgot. Okay, so they're a close range 12 Beretta M38s firing at 150 meter range along with the Molotov cocktails. You've got to be careful not to kind of get these guys into combat outside of that 150 meter range. They come in the same transports. I'm definitely going to be taking them in my decks just for the blue uniforms. That's for sure. Well, then we got the KM Butte Besatzung, which are the U-boat crews from the sounds of it. Now, you don't get a lot of numbers of these guys either. I feel like it's a bit of a shame because I think all these kind of unique infantry units are kind of out. Oh my god, wait, no. We got 3 MG34s. So this unit is definitely going to get taken because you've got 3 MG34s. I mean, they are quite expensive though, at 35 points, but I want them for those 3 MG34s, and they are fanatical as well. Yeah, these guys do look really good. I mean, I would definitely put them in the deck anyway, because they are kind of a unique unit, and I love that kind of theme and roleplay aspect of the game. But honestly, a lot of these kind of units, like the KM Pioneer, like the Brandenburg and the Marrow, they're a bit overshadowed by the fact you can get really cheap 20-point infantry. And honestly, if you're going into quick play and ranked 1v1, a lot of the times, most people are just going to play with the 20-point infantry because they're just so meta. They're just so meta and cheap. And then you'll get the odd ones making it in here. Like, I think the KM Besatzung will make it into most people's decks. That's the infantry tab all done. Onto the tank tab. We're starting things off with the Panzer 35R. So these are captured French Panzer 35Rs. They do look pretty cool. I think this is a unique skin to the DLC. I don't think I've seen this one before. It is quite hard to remember, but I don't think I have seen this skin before. What have we got? It's only 30 mils of pen, so you're not going to be using this against tanks. This is really here for your anti-infantry role, and the damage is really poor. I mean, you don't get many slots. You've got 2 Stug 3G cars, so it's really about whether you want a 35R and whether you want a 39H, to be honest. And I'm going to guess that the 39H, I mean, they're cheap as chips. They're cheap as chips, but you don't even get many of these Panzer 35Rs. I think most people are going to choose the 39H, the Stug 3Gs, and the Stug 3G Führer, but do notice the only one you can get in B phase is the Panzer 35Rs, but then you can only get 8 of them in total. So, yeah, this is a tough tank tab. This is a really tough tank tab. You basically get 5 Stug 3Gs, yeah, 7 Stug 3Gs. I think most people will probably take those 2 cars, and they might even skip the 3-point slot. It's quite expensive. But have no fear, the anti-air tab will do a lot of your anti-tank duties. At least that's from what I remember. Let's move into the support tab. We kick things off with the 50mm mortars. Then we've got the Kriegsmarine Küstenpolizei, I think is how you'd say that, the military police of the Kriegsmarine. They get a MAS 36, which is a bolt action rifle according to this, but it's got pretty decent rate of fire. The rate of fire doesn't really mean too much in the game, so it's actually quite hard to tell from that how good the guns are. But yeah, I mean, it's a military police. It is an 8-man squad, so it's a little bit better than the usual military police because most of them are like 4-man squads. Might be useful, and if you are taking the disheartened infantry, then it definitely is going to be useful. Then we got the Kriegsmarine MG08. I can't really see most people taking this. It's a bit of a flavour unit, to be honest. We got the MG34s. This is going to be a backup unit, I think, if you can't get your MG42s. Or if you want more than one card. Sorry, in my game, whenever I click it, sometimes it automatically allocates it into the deck. You can see what's happening right now. I don't know whether that's just me. If that happens to you, let me know. I might raise it as a bug to Eugene because it really annoys me. I think it's if I've already got it on here and then I click it again. Oh, no, it's not doing it, you see. Strange. Anyway, really odd. Really odd. Let's get off that. So we got the MG42 card. I think most people are going to take this card. It can come in the tractions, which is incredibly powerful. And you've got MG34s as well. And actually, the fact that these can come in the traction depends on whether you've got enough vehicles. But I could see some people doubling up on the machine guns to kind of rush in with the traction vehicle. It's a possibility. We've also got the Geb 285. Is that Japanese? Captured Japanese? Skoda? No, that's got to be Czech. 75 mil. Let me know. I know this in brackets, it relates to the country that the Germans have captured it from. But with it being a Skoda, it should be a Czech, captured Czech weapon. That's what I would have thought, but the J threw me off there for the moment. So this has heat shells, but the pen's only 70mm, so it's not over the top fantastic. The HE shells at 10 rounds a minute is okay. The range, 1,500 meters, is okay. I don't think it's going to be amazing. We got the SIG-33 as well that does kind of outshine it. So I think most people would opt for the SIG over the Geb, just from my initial look. In terms of the leaders, we've got the BMW leader, we've got a traction leader, and we've got a commandant in a standard uniform. No real flavour on those leaders. I guess the traction's kind of flavour, to be fair. You don't get tractions in many divisions. Interesting, though, that this traction is black, because I've seen some of the other tractions. I think there's a difference, because the transport tractions for the infantry are always camo, and I think the commander tractions are always black. I don't know, it's a little bit of a tidbit. Into the anti-tank tab now, we've got the PAC 177 Italian 47mm. Okay, 55mm of penetration, not that good. It does get a reasonable range. But the rate of fire is like really good. 26 rounds a minute. This thing is really good rate of fire. Accuracy is not bad as well. This thing can definitely deal with kind of half-track spam, for sure. You can get 6 of them. I think this is more to deal with half-track recon, you know, light vehicle spam early on into the game. It will definitely do that really well because the rate of fire on it is incredible. So I can actually see people taking that for that reason. It does come in with the traction vehicle. We also get a crazy... What is this? I was wondering whether it would give me the full name. Is ART stand for artillery? Artillery Schlepper VA601B. Is that British? Is this a British transport that's been captured? I mean, this must have been in the devlogs that I didn't read. Wow. Well, look, you can see the control panel inside. How cool is that? That's really... I love that detail. I love that detail. Okay, when I first saw it, I thought it might be some kind of transport. I mean, no one's going to take it, because you've got option for the traction on the DMA. Unless you get forced to take this on some certain vehicle. That's really funny. That's really funny. That's cool. I love it. It will go in one of my decks, I'm sure. We've got the Panzerjäger RSO. I mean, it is a pack 40. It just comes in incredibly cheap. But remember, the tank tab is really weak. So... it might make it into the deck. possibly in some people's decks, they might choose it. So the PAK 177 you can get in A and B phase. The RSO you can only get in A phase. Then we've got the Russian 76.2 mil. It looks like a ZIS-2 gun, but I thought the 76s were the ZIS-3. And the fact it's indirect fire makes me think this is a ZIS-3 gun. I don't know why, but looking at it is making me think it looks like a ZIS-2. But I think it's actually a ZIS-3 gun, and I'm getting a bit confused here. But anyway, so captured Russian PAK 36. 130 mil of pen is different. That's not a Russian standard penetration, I don't believe. Wow, this one's throwing me a little bit. That doesn't seem like a standard Russian pen, because the APCR on a ZIS-2 gun is like 130, but the AP is like 105, and then the ZIS-2 gun, the APCR ammunition's like 180 pen, and the standard AP round I think is around about 135 mils of pen. So maybe it is a ZIS-2 gun, and that's the standard AP round. Interesting. 1,500 meters, but yeah, the standard ZIS-2 round is 1,750 meters. So this just seems like an odd combination. It might be like German ammunition in the captured Russian gun. Yeah, it's just interesting, really. This is why I like doing these videos, because I like to be able to pick out kind of my thoughts and my interest looking at the division. And sometimes it might be a little bit boring for you guys, but I love to tease out these tiny little details. You can get access to that in A, B, and C. It costs 50 points, which is perhaps kind of a little bit expensive on first glance, but I still don't think you're going to be that worried about it once you see the anti-air tab. We've got Marder 1s. These are definitely going in the deck. Marder 1s are great weapons anyway. PAK 40s, again, they're definitely going in the deck. You do get them in A and B. I think most people take this single card in B phase because I think you are a bit more limited with what you can take. So I think most people would prefer 5 of these rather than 3. And then you got the PAK 43 88 mils. I mean, you could combine and take the PAK 40 in A phase and then the 88s in B phase and do it that way round. But yeah, 88 mil gun is pretty decent. You can take out the big boys with this gun, so you've definitely got opportunities to take out tanks. You have got a small tank tab, but you've got opportunities in the anti-tank tab. And now we're on to the anti-air tab, and we've got one Flak 4188 card here. So these can definitely do the anti-tank role. You know the Flak 4188s. I'm not going to go through them in more detail. Then we've got the Flak 38 105 mil. These can also do kind of anti-tank at 2k, 205 millimeters of pen. So it's actually better than the Flak 41. Yeah, it's 105 millimeters versus 88 millimeters. So it's like a souped up Flak 41. You are a little bit more limited on the the numbers of this gun, but I think most people would probably opt for the B phase. It depends on price as well. The price is 135. If you're playing Vanguard, you might just take the single one in A phase, because otherwise you're going to struggle to afford them. If you're playing Maverick, I think most people would take them in B phase. And if you're playing balanced, it's probably better to take them in C phase. You can get 4 of these guys. And then rounding off we've still got another Flak there. We got the Flakzwilling 37 mil. So that's a double 37 mil. And 37 mils was strong anyway. So this thing is like double strong. I'm not quite sure how this compares to the Flakzwilling, bearing in mind that they're the same price. So the Flakzwilling you had 420 mils, and this one you've got 237 mils. I've got a feeling that the 237 mils are going to be stronger than the 420 mils. But I guess you guys are going to have to find that out. I may be able to play some gameplay footage before then and give you a bit more information. But yeah, these are... the air tab is... You get a lot. So if you are going to play this in tournaments as a competitive Steel Division League player, and you're coming up against an air division and they haven't banned this division, then this is definitely one you could pick because your anti-air game is strong. Then we got the Flak 36. The Flak M36 captured French 75mm. I really love the look of these and how they come in the kind of, I guess they come with the transport wheels, the carriage that kind of has to be taken off. As far as I'm aware, you can move this once it's placed. You can move it again, I think. I haven't heard that you can't. So this thing doesn't fire against tanks, so I guess that's something to know. And it only fires at 100... Oh, wait, no. The AA range is 2,500 meters. The HE range is slightly limited with a 1,500 meters, so I would say don't have this on the front line, really, if you are going to use it. But I reckon this as a cheaper kind of Flak 41, specifically to deal with AA, is going to be pretty strong. We've also got the Flakzwilling. The Flakzwilling not on the truck. So this is the wheeled Flakzwilling, or the towed Flakzwilling. So comparing the Flakzwilling with the Flakzwilling, it is going to be interesting which one's better. So because it's 10 points cheaper, I reckon actually the Flakzwilling will be better than the Flakzwilling. But yeah, it'll be interesting to actually find out. And then we got the standard 36-37mm, and we got the Flak 38-20mm as well. A lot of choice in this anti-air tab, but I think this is kind of what Toulon is known for. I think with the combination of the Flak 4188s, the Flak 38-105s, you can get 2 cards of those. Those 2 units definitely help you out in the anti-tank game. So they can combine with your Flak Pack 43s, your Pack 40s, your Marders, and then also your Stugs as well. So although on the face of it, your tank tab isn't great, you definitely have options to take down enemy tanks, for sure. Right, into the artillery tab, we got the Bao Basher, we got the Battery Führer, we got 81mm mortars, we got SFH 317 Czech howitzers. I think it's Czech. 100mm howitzers, unlimited range, 75 points. They can't come with a supply vehicle. They do have the radio though, and 75 points as a radio artillery is pretty strong. No smoke shells, but they do have 40 HE shells, which is quite a lot of ammunition. So this could do you as an A-phase artillery piece, I think. We've got the captured French 331 105mm howitzer, the Schneider. I think you know that I love the captured French howitzers. This one does get smoke, only 8 shells though, 30 HE shells and a radio. I think that it's a toss-up between the Geb and the K331. They're both the... Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, look at that. There's a bug in the price. Wait, what? What's going on here? No, sorry. We have the K331, the captured French. Then we have the Geb, which is a captured Italian 100mm. And then we have the captured Czech 100mm. So 3 artillery pieces here, which are kind of all performing the same role. And I think mostly you're going to go for the ones with smoke if you are going to choose these. And you're probably going to choose the K331s because they do more damage and the range is unlimited. Compared to the Geb, which although has slightly more smoke, the damage is ever so slightly less and the range is limited. Yeah, the range is limited there. Interesting. Oh, but then you've got the SK-18, the German 100mm. You're definitely going to take this one because this is a lot better at counter battery due to the accuracy. The Geb looks pretty accurate though. 45%. That may give the SK-18 a run for its money, but then the range kind of does it in. So yeah, a lot of artillery pieces to choose from here. So if you love artillery, they've all got radios, so make sure you've got your radio carrying commanders, leaders. So you've got the KM Führer, you've got the Gren Führer, and you've also got the Battery Führer to carry your radios, as well as the Beobacher, BMWs as well, and the mech. The mech also come with the radios. So you do have plenty of radios in this division. If you love artillery, then this is a good... If you love playing kind of like a support role in those 10v10s with artillery and anti-air, you're going to love this division. So we've got the off-map. We've seen this before, the coastal guns. But this is, I think, from a French ship, just by the look of the name of that. I haven't actually read the dev blog on this, but it's 138mm. Oh no, they're coastal guns. So yeah, they'll be captured French coastal guns in Toulon. So 138mm is going to be pretty strong, but the downside is, you know, it's on kind of like a slower biplane. 285 kilometers per hour is pretty slow. It could get shot down. It does act as a radio though as well, from the looks of things. From the looks of that icon, it looks like it could be a radio, which is interesting to pair with the artillery. I think that's wrong. I don't know. It seems to have a radio from the looks of the icon, but I've never really known whether that actually works, whether they do provide a radio for corrected shot. Interesting. And then we got the 120mm mortars. They're in pretty much every single division. We've got some captured Italian 404, 149mm guns with 160mm penetration on the heat shells. Oh, but the range is pretty poor. But you could get these close to the front to act as their own radios. And then if they do kind of get into some kind of anti-tank fire, they can basically destroy any tank. You've only got 5 shots, the accuracy is pretty weak and the range is pretty weak, so you are going to come under a hell of a lot of fire. But it's kind of a last-ditch defensive weapon. It could work, but spending 110 points in that kind of role, yeah, it's kind of a... Yeah, you shouldn't really be getting into that kind of trouble. These can come in the multi-a-month supply trucks. The SK-18s can come in the dinky little truck. How the hell does that pull this artillery unit? I'll never know, unless it's kind of like a tractor. You know, like it's like a tractor type vehicle. I guess it does look like it's got artillery in the name, so it might be an artillery tractor, an artillery transport. So yeah, these are decent. And then we've also got the 152mm, which are the captured Russian ML20s, but you don't get heat shells on these, which I think you do with the Russian version of the gun. So you don't get the heat shells, but yeah, 152mm. I mean, you've got tons of great artillery. Again, these have got radios. So if you are a 10v10 player, you may well really like this division. Because the other thing about playing 10v10 is this division, yeah, you've got a weak tank tab. You can just go in the cities and then use your infantry, your anti-air and your artillery in the cities. So I think this is definitely leaning towards a really good team deck or team division, especially the bigger team games like a 4v4 or a 10v10. We've also got a 340mm coastal gun artillery, so an upgraded version as such. This thing, I mean, could be pretty darn good. I've not seen it actually fire, but if the 32 is anything to go by, then it isn't that kind of one-shot thing that a Carl Gustav is, for example. So it should be a pretty decent off-map. It's just whether you can get it off with the fact that it is a biplane. So I think that's all of the units in the artillery tab. Let's finally go into the air tab. We got the ME410A3 as a recon plane. We got the G6R1 as a fighter bomber with a 250 kilogram bomb. That's pretty decent. And I think with the amount of anti-air you've got, using your planes could be quite good with this, because you should be able to shoot down enemy planes. But the slot costs aren't great, to be fair. We've got the BF-109 G6U4. This is a dedicated fighter, but we also have the BF-109 G6R6 as well. We've got the Dornier 217K1. It's like a heavy bomber. This one's got 26 50 kilogram bombs, so it's really a kind of like a strategic bomber in a sense. It's to destroy big clumps of infantry. Most people just don't take this kind of aircraft, really. Especially when you compare it for the same price as a Ju-88A4 with two 500 kilogram bombs. It's a bit of a no-brainer. You're going to take the Ju-88 all day long. I'm pretty sure this is a special skin. It's got the Spider-Man web on it. I presume that's where there was a turret that they've covered up because they've not got a turret. Yeah. It's kind of cool. I wonder what that is there. Is that a periscope? That's probably the bomb aiming sight, I would think, or something. Or it could be a mast for an antenna, but they usually go on the top. Yeah, they're on the top. That's got to be a bombing periscope, I would think. An aiming sight. If you know what that is, let me know, because you would have thought as well that the aiming sight would be at the front here. So I'm not actually sure what that is. Yeah, interesting. Interesting all the same. We got the BF-109 we've looked at. BF-109 G6BR-21. That's got the 210mm rockets. These can be pretty decent, to be fair. And we've got the Focke-Wulf 190 F8. So they do have the really good anti-tank rocket version. I think this one's pretty good. It seems to get killed whenever I see it being used. It certainly gets kills against me, and it's a Focke-Wulf, so you can do the head-ons with it, although as an anti-tank plane you probably don't want to do that. You don't want to lose your anti-tank rocket plane, really. Right, let's just quickly go into the defense, see whether we get anything unique. We do get the Panzerstellung Panzer II, so it's basically the kind of the Panzer II turret on a bunker. So it's 20mm. Interesting that it's got the 20mm and the machine gun there, but it's only actually the 20mm that is used, or that is on the unit card. That's kind of interesting, I would say. Oh, we got more as well. We got the Panzerstellung R35, and we've got the Panzerstellung S35, which is a 47mm AP. So this is the anti-tank bunker, I would guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm not guessing. And this is the anti-infantry bunker. And we've got a pack 40 as well, hidden in there. So actually some really cool defenses here for your battle breakthrough mode games. And this definitely is a good division to be used in breakthrough. I'd like to get that off, but it doesn't. There we go. I don't know why, but I don't like to see that. Toulon. How do I feel about it? Do I think it's going to be a good division? I mean, we've got over 50 divisions in the game now. So in terms of 1v1, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a top division. I think I see it as a specialized counter division. If somebody takes a air heavy deck, then you could use this to counter the enemy player. I see it more as a specialized division to counter the enemies. So I don't really see this as kind of meta defining division that's going to be played in quick play and ranked after a couple of months once it's been out on release. In team games, though, I definitely think it will be a good division, and I definitely think it's going to be used a lot for the artillery players, you know, with the anti-air that you get in it, and the cool infantry you get as well. I can imagine there'll be lots of 10v10 players that really do like this division, and that's a good thing. And also the defenses that you get access to, they are pretty cool. So if you do play that breakthrough mode, it is pretty cool for that as well. In terms of my favorite unit, I'm kind of trying to remember what my favorite unit is. I've just remembered. It is going to be the Marrows. I mean, look at that uniform. How could I not possibly pick this as my favorite unit of the deck? The uniform is just amazing. I absolutely love it. And actually, it should be decent as a close quarters unit. This really specializes in light forests, I would say, because you can fire at 150 meter range. So if you use them in the light forest and you're coming up against enemy after Machikis, enemy Sturm Pioneers, you know, the CQC, dedicated CQC troops, then these guys will destroy them because they can fire before they get into 100 meter range. And then once they get into 100 meter range, they throw the Molotov cocktails. So this could be a really good unit as well. It's not just a good choice because of the uniforms. There we have it. That is Toulon. Hopefully you enjoyed this run through, and also to let you know, I'm having a giveaway in my Discord, so you can win yourself a free copy of the Storming Toulon DLC. Head into the Discord, the link is in the description, and there is a giveaways channel. You just click on the bot and you get entered into a prize draw. That's going to get drawn on Wednesday. Release date is Thursday, so look forward to Toulon coming soon. Thanks very much for watching. I am Alpha Bird. I will see you very soon.